to the Bomb Hole.
Bomb Hole Podcast.
It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody.
The Bomb Hole.
We're gonna slide down them big hills, you know what I mean, on the big, nice burgundy snowboard.
Okay, here we go again. Another beautiful day here at the Bomb Hole, which is presented by Pub Beer. Now, the people want to know, Snowdy Buds, how are we doing today?
So good, my dog.
God, I love hearing that. To my left, we got Miles Fallon in the booth. Miles, how we doing?
I'm doing well, guys.
Glad to hear it. Now, Miles is an up-and-coming absolute ripper of a snowboarder, all-terrain vehicle. He destroys anything from, X Games Knuckle Huck to mini shred to rip and pow. He does it all. We're going to cover it all in today's podcast. But first things first, we really got to get into, is it Taylor ham or is it a pork roll? Because I know you're from Jersey.
Damn, dude, it's freaking pork roll where I'm from.
Oh, it's a pork roll.
Yeah. If you're from where I'm from, you call it pork roll. Like, we don't mess, like, that kind of divides, like, who I like in Jersey. Taylor ham people, watch out.
Is Taylor ham a pork roll?
Yeah.
And pork roll is Taylor ham?
Pork roll is pork roll.
It's just what you call it.
It technically both are a pork roll.
Both are a pork roll.
Yeah.
There's other brands besides Taylor ham, though?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge.
Unless you're getting, like, Canadian bacon or, like, some off-brand.
Okay, so it's
that
like
you don't
Canadian
want.
bacon.
Nah. Good pork roll. It slaps on, like, the flat top nice. Like, makes a nice slap.
You can slap the pork
And then
roll.
it just, like, is greasy and fire and salty.
And
So
salty.
if you meet a homie, you're kicking it, you're like, oh, this is my boy. Then all of a sudden he drops Taylor ham, and you're like, woof, I kind of don't know if I'm really backing this dude.
Yeah, we might have, like, a little argument for a second.
have to pull them aside
Like,
and talk.
yeah, it's just how it is. Like, what exit are you on the Parkway? 82. All right? That's how it is.
That's that.
This kid's throwing out Jersey exits. Love it.
Yeah, Garden State people.
Let's give an air horn to the armpit of America real quick.
Jersey's got some good surf, too, doesn't it?
Dude, sleeper surf. Like,
Sleeper surf.
In
I
the
surfed
winter,
there
it goes
once.
off. Yeah. Sometimes in the summer, there's some swell, but winter surfing goes crazy. Like, there's this dude, Ben Gravy. He goes nuts.
Is that his real last name, Gravy?
I think so. He's like the
dope last
Casey, the Casey Willax of, like, surfing almost.
Oh, okay.
If I had to, like, find a comparison. But dope dude. Bunch of surfers come out of Jersey. It's sick.
That's sick.
Now, I see you surfing all the time on the gram. Now, are you paddling into bombs? What are we talking here?
Hey, man, like, if I have a dark day and I'm trying to find, like, some crazy shit, get, like, wrecked a little in the water, I'll paddle out on a big day. But nothing, like, fucking huge. Like, I don't know. Like, if there's people from Hawaii here, like, I'm probably surfing, like, I don't know, 6 foot Hawaiian, maybe.
A 6-foot Hawaiian wave?
That's probably biggest ever. That's probably a fucking claim and a half, honestly.
How big? I wonder how big that is. Like 6-foot Hawaiian. How big is that in Cali?
That's got to be like 12 feet, bro. I don't fucking know. But yeah. No, I try to keep it chill. Surfing's just a vibe, man. Like, that's what I'm going to do when I'm, like, retired, old man. Want to live on a sailboat, surf, chill.
Well, while we're talking about water sports, I was lurking your gram doing some research, and I noticed a clip you had on there where you're walking down a dock and you fall headfirst into the water. Are you skating down the dock? Can you walk us through what happened there?
Oh, shit. Dude, yeah, that was fucked up. I probably smoked a doobie with my dad, and I was, like, on my penny board, like, just vibing out. We got, like, speakers in the back, so I probably had, like, I don't know, I was, like, 17, 16 at the time, so I was probably listening to, like, Tame Impala, just, like, some trippy shit, and, like, on the penny board, vibing out, and then just, like, hit a crack, and then was like, dude, I'm done, and, like, it's hella shallow where I fell in, so it's only, like, a foot deep, and I'm, like, I gotta, like, make, like, an escape plan, like, so I don't fucking hit a rock on my face. And I, like, nailed it, but the video is, like, classic. Like, my dad was like, yo, the security cam got it, and, like, sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, shit, like, I got to post that shit on Instagram.
So he had to hit up the security and get that?
Well, my dad's got all that shit on his phone. My house is like 4 dicks,
that's from
bro.
your crib.
Don't go to my crib. Like,
Yeah.
if you're trying to fuck with Joe Fallon, like, don't do it. Like,
He's got that place looped up.
yeah, like, safes loaded. Like, we got,
Yeah,
Joe Fallon.
Don't go there.
Shout out to Joe Fallon. Let's give him an air horn.
Honestly, best dude, Joe Fallon, great guy.
Sounds like, sounds like you got supportive parents, like, to see you at a young age. I want to kind of dive into this because my first memory of you, I worked at High Cascade for years, and you were the little nugget. I don't know how old you were, like 8 years old. For however many years, you would spend like a bunch of weeks up there in the summer, and you were the Grom getting after it. What role did High Cascade have in you at a young age?
Dude, I owe everything to the people at High Cascade, honestly. All the staff, like everyone there had such a huge impact on just like who I am as a person. And that's like super sick question because no one really like knows about that, or like how I feel like, you know, places like High Cascade are kind of dying out and stuff. And it's just so cool that I was able to get like a last bit of like the greatness that like, you know, really influences people. And like, it's just like cool ass snowboard culture that's kind of like dying out. But yeah, had like really good supportive parents, and I was like riding with like a team at the time, or in like Big Boulder Park in Pennsylvania, and they're like, "Yo, we're sending like our kids to High Cascade. Like, why don't you guys go?" And I asked my mom like, "Yo, please like send me. Like, I gotta go like snowboard on a fucking volcano. Like, this sounds insane." And I was young. I was like probably 9 or 10. First time I ever like left home, you know, to like go somewhere. And my mom was like down, and I was just hyped. Like, it was sick. And I went there, and everyone was just super nice. Like, that's where like I learned how to skateboard and stuff. And yeah, big shouts, High Cascade.
You know, go ahead.
You think the culture is just dying out there? You don't think there's a chance for it?
No, actually, I have to take that back. Or maybe it's just like it's having a little rebirth. You know,
Yeah.
everything comes in like a cycle. It's like a circle. Like, I had the best summer of my life last year, like working there at the demo, just like giving back. Like, so that was cool. Like, that's like I had to feel like I felt like I had to, you know, give back and like hang out with the kids and go ride and like, you know, make it fun for people to be there. And I thought I did a great job.
You
know?
want the kids to have that same experience you had, right?
Yeah, and like fucking Spiegel, shout out Spiegel. I don't know if you even are alive or whatever you're doing. Homie was like
Hopefully he's alive.
dude, he was the gnarliest dodgeball player. Like,
Oh, he had a cannon.
yeah.
Dude, this thing, dude, we're talking like full freaking Roger Clemens fastball coming at kids'
tossing
heads.
this thing
He
at
concussed
people.
me my first week of camp. My mom was like, "I'm never sending you back." Like, dude, fully got rocked in the head,
He
like
was
against
throwing the
the
balls
fence.
that hard.
Randy Johnson, the big unit style.
Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
which was kind of sick because in like working there, I was like felt like low key. I was like, I'm like the new Spiegel now, like kind of a flex, but I could whip a fucking dodgeball. And like they were getting mad at me because I was like whipping kids in the face, but that's like why I work.
You're giving
there.
them that
That's
same
the circle of life.
Yes,
That's the circle of life.
Full circle.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm the guy now. Like, let's fucking whip these things.
Let's get a concussion going for these kids.
You
Yeah.
get a good dodgeball that's a little bit deflated.
Yeah,
You got
so
a
you
little
can really
deflate
grip it.
gate. You get a little deflate gate
Deflate
going,
gate.
and you can just absolutely annihilate
Yeah.
an 8-year-old camper.
I like my pinky was like completely falling off from the pinch grip.
Pin grip.
Al Grogan, another insane dodgeball player, the
Yes.
pinch grip. But no, to go back to that, like what I said earlier, I definitely think the culture is still there. It just like wasn't as like, I guess when I was younger, it's just like all fairy tales and like sick
Yeah,
shit.
you're like looking at it from these young eyes. So
Yeah.
it's a little different now. Hopefully those kids are still getting that.
Yeah, like the Change That Tape session was like, I went to that one every summer. Like that was it. Like
Yep.
see Scott and
Good
Chris.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
You know what
shit.
sticks out to me thinking about you as a young kid? You know, I feel like when you look at most Groms, they're kind of snowboarding like to pursue slope style, or they're doing conventional jump tricks, or they're trying to learn basically just normal snowboard tricks. But you, I remember at a young age, you were doing like 1-footers and no-footers and crabs. And, you know, who was your coach, and what influence did your coach have on you at that time?
Sick, yo, Matt McTaggart. Shout out Mount Snow.
Oh, dude, he's a Mount Snow OG. I remember him from back in the day.
Yo, back 3 hand drag,
Yep.
inferno jump, like crazy shit.
Yep.
Matt McTaggart, he was my coach. He was more of like an uncle, you know, like he just became part of the family. Like I was in the cat, like I met him at Mount Snow. I was on the comp team and he was one of the coaches, and I was in the cat that was cutting the pipe at Mount Snow with Jason Evans, X Games silver medal. Shout out Jason Evans. A lot of shout outs already, my
Yeah,
bad.
That's dope.
Love it.
No, but I was in the cat with him, and my dad's like, "Hey, like, come over for dinner. Like, my wife's cooking up food. We got beers. Like, come chill." And Matt was like a Jehovah's Witness, so he was just like, I don't know. Like, we spent Christmas with him. Like, his first time watching Harry Potter was with me, and he was like freaked out at the spiders and shit. But yeah, like he just really put me on, and like was like, "Hey, like this USASA shit's cool, but like let's go to this rail jam and like watch like this video of Scott Stevens." And like, yeah, he was just like put me on Scott like really heavy, and I was like, Scott's like God. Like it was
Yeah,
sick.
who were the early influences?
Scott. That was like all I knew. Yeah, I wasn't like because I was so young. I was like 8, like 9. I was playing like SX Tricky on my GameCube, and like I just
Shout
like,
out to SS Tricky.
Big shout.
fuck.
Big shout.
Shit's insane. I was kind of bummed I didn't get the call up to have like my own video game character in that new Shredders game or whatever. So
Your boy Zeb's got one.
Yeah.
yeah, fuck you, Zeb.
That game does look pretty sick.
No, they nailed it. I played it the other day.
played it?
Yeah, and I'm like snowboarding with Zeb. It's like come ride with Zeb, and Zeb just like fucking doing shit he does in real life, like in the game.
Does he have voiceovers and stuff? Is he saying stuff?
I don't really remember that. I just remember snowboarding with Zeb in the game, and was like, dude, there's just like dreadlocks and shit, like it's crazy.
Flying around.
Yeah, in the
Is he
32
riding the big
jacket.
board or what?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe
But
you
maybe
unlock
there's an
that later.
option. Yeah, who knows?
Going back to what you said, it just put me back in that time of High Cascade when Scott and I worked up there, and Scott was King Kong up there. Like
Yeah.
he would show up
Kong.
every week. We would film for these session videos, like because they had the session recap videos every week, and Scott would be filming for that thing. Like he was filming for last part in fully flared, like whatever. Like every week, it was like he was just putting on new
Like
tricks,
a real
going
snow
crazy.
video part every
And
week, basically.
It's cool that as a kid you got to see that growing up.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing I feel bad for, like the kids that go to camp nowadays. They didn't have that like this camper session recap or like, you know, the pro recap, and that shit was like, oh man, like I'm gonna go fucking hard. Like
Try to get in it.
Let me get in this recap, and like that was like what kind of introduced me and like, oh, you could like snowboard and just film. Like I thought it was like you go to the Olympics and you gotta like do double corks and shit, but like that's kind of like what put me on. Like you go to High Cascade and it's like, yo, like you don't have to like be the best slope rider. You could just go have fun and like get
Get a
mad
clip.
creative, and get a clip, and it's sick.
It's really cool to think about when you break down your style of snowboarding. I like it because I think talking to Scott yesterday, he mentioned he's like, well, his snowboarding style has no limitations, right? Which I think is really cool because, you know, a lot of people don't do 1-footers or mini shred, or where you'll slide a box, a DDR, get an A grade clip. You'll go to X Games Knuckle Huck and go crazy. You'll hit a big ass jump and do a 1080, or you'll go ride POW. Like what kind of influenced your approach to just ride everything?
Damn, that's kind of sick. Thanks, Scott. I don't know, man. I just like didn't really like putting myself in one category or anything. And like I grew up riding pipe and like slopestyle and doing USASA, and then did rev tours and stuff. And then, you know, I met people like Cooper and stuff that were doing rev tours, and I was just like, this shit kind of sucks. Like we're riding like a shitty ass jump, and like we have to chug carcass for who? Like I'm not really enjoying this. And I just was meeting all these like-minded riders who were just super talented. Blake Moeller and Goop. Like I went to high school at Wendell's Academy. My best friends right there, straight up. Like we kind of were just like, dude, fuck this. Like let's stop competing. Let's just like snowboard and have fun and like make little Instagram videos and shit. And that's just like what we did.
So dope.
Yeah.
I got to experience watching you kind of progress through the launch year
Yeah.
to year.
Events like the launch too.
Yeah, and I was like just seeing you like he's saying, pull out the 1-footers, and it really like made you stand out amongst the other kids, because then you started doing them on big things, up like big hips and gap jumps, and that was really sick to see you advance like that. How was that stepping up through the ranks like that?
Dude, yeah, my first launch, I think I was like 13 or 12 or something. It was at Seven Springs, and I was like, wow, like this is fucking nuts. Like they have channel gaps, like, and big ass jumps that you could like actually fuck your shit up on and like hurt yourself. And I was like, this is the shit. And like Pat Bridges, shout out Bridges, he was like this, like, I don't know, Matt McTaggart only had like one story of him like spitting on him at a bar. So I was like, this fucking dude's mean, like don't fuck with this guy. And I just like remember like Bridges looked at me and he's like, come to the like the shoot at the street section, like the rail section. And I was like, damn, which was like invite only, because early launch you had to like get invited to the shoots and shit. And I was like, damn, word, like let's fucking go. Like, and I went, and it was like Brock Crouch and like all these homies going crazy. And now that kind of like getting introduced to that kind of scene, like with that energy, I never felt anything where it was like, damn, these people are just like fucking going nuts, drinking beer, going crazy, like adrenaline's up the roof, like, and I was like, this is the shit. And like, then you like get a photo in a magazine, like, let's go.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
You did well.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, dude, yeah, I just remember shooting with you and stuff, and like Bridges always being like, hit that jump, and I'll be like, fuck.
He like tells the kids when to drop in and all that.
Yeah.
They might not even be ready or something. Like, Miles, you're next. And he's
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm going.
Dude, or like, remember that shoot at Seven Springs we had, and I guinea pigged the fucking hip, and there was like an ice chunk in the lip that no one saw. I hit this thing, I go like hella high, and I just deck, and I like fucking like just squatted out, and I like hit my chin on my knee and like bit through my tongue or like my lip or something.
It was a big hip too.
Yeah, big ass hip, but
You ended up doing a 1-footer on that. That was sick.
yeah, that was sick. Well, fucking Bridges was like calling me cover boy, so I was like, all right, anything for the cover, like, let's go.
And then it wasn't a cover.
It wasn't even a cover. Fuck that, dude.
I think I sent you that photo last night.
banger.
Yeah.
That's a banger. Yep.
I mean, that's going big like that, doing a 1-footer is crazy on a hip. Scary stuff.
And I think a lot of people don't understand setting the line on a hip.
Yeah.
Because there's,
Yeah.
there's one line, it becomes basically like a rut. And the first people to go, they are trusted to put in the right line where you land in the right spot on the landing. And that was you.
Yep. And I fucked up.
there was only like 4 riders in that sesh, though, so it was a little less.
Yeah, it was all like the underdogs.
It was a private
Yeah,
sesh.
like Bridges called, like, he called Gabe, like he called all the dogs, like the top dogs. And then he calls us scrubs, and he's like, yo, we need you guys. And no one's paying for us to go there. We're like, all right, fuck it. Like, let's go. It's our time to shine. So that was cool. And I'm like super thankful for opportunities like that. That was awesome.
How is shooting with buds?
The best, dude. I think I smoked like a fucking ounce of weed next to you.
That's right. These guys got a giant satchel on that trip.
Yeah, I think we smoked like 3 ounces.
Yeah, we had
in
only
2
had
days.
a couple of days or something, and they got this giant sack, and they had to finish it before they left.
Yeah, it was honestly like absurd.
You
Like,
should have just buried that thing in the woods. And
that's
found
what.
it.
Yeah, you were
I think I
saying
was
you've been on a
that,
trip
That's a
like
pro
that.
tip. That's
Yeah.
a pro tip.
Yeah,
Put
just
it in a
save
jar,
the
bury it.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Even give it to a homie too. If you give him the location to the sack.
we were feeling bold and we wanted to get stoned, I guess. So
I thought it was great.
no, yeah, that was a good time. But yeah, shit like that, I guess, kind of made my style appear or whatever, the launch and whatnot.
So
Buds, you should queue up the Patreon question, the one that we got from Johan. Johan
wrong
submitted a
stack
good
here.
one.
Johan submitted.
Yep.
Shout out to Johan. He's
Give him an air
fucking
horn.
man.
All right.
Johan put me on too, low key. He's the man.
Johan's the sales guy over at Capita, so that's
Over my shoulder.
Staring right at him.
So we got a Patreon question from Johan Malkowski. He says, ask him about his come up from a young Jedi rep rider being at the launch, what that meant to him and his rise to the shred world. Who was the rep that found you and put you on this path, and what did you do to catch his attention?
Sick ass question. Yeah, Johan, love you, dude. Thanks for everything. And the guy that put me on, so yeah, Capita has like kind of a farming like rep thing where they like get their rep riders and you kind of like work your way up. And I was lucky to be at like a Volcom PBRJ at Mountain Creek when I was like 12 or something. And Dan Broadwell, shout out, Flower City Distribution, same guy that like put Johnny O'Connor on. He like just came up to me and was like, yo, like, or actually it was called Mighty Mites. And Reed Smith was there in the contest too. And Reed actually beat me, but Dan Broadwell came up to me and was like, yo, like, I really fuck with your style. Like, do you watch skateboard videos? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I could tell, like, mad skatey, just, like, super sick. And he's like, the first place rider gets the Capita board, but, like, I'm going to give it to you. And I was like, yo, let's fucking go. Like, got the Capita board. And I was like, just got put on Scott, too. So I was like, Capita, like, let's fucking go. And then, like, through that system, I got invited to the launch because Flower City was able to, like, give, like, a couple invites to the riders. So I got into that. And then that's where I met Johan, actually, because I was riding with Milo. And I was like, oh, Milo's the shit. Like, let's go. And I met Jonas Harris there, too. So Milo, Jonas, and I were just being, like, little rugrats, just, like, ripping, having fun. And, like, Johan was just, like, super nice. And, like, I went there with, like, my parents. And, like, Matt was with me. But he was, like, more of just, like, a make sure Miles doesn't kill himself kind of guy. Not, like, telling me what the fuck to do and shit. And Johan kind of, like, recognized that and like really was like, yo, this is sick. Like he's just like an uncle, you know, just like ripping, and like your mom came out, like that's really cool. And then just from like there, like I kind of like started working my way up and like started getting shots in the mag, and then like started getting boards from Mark. And yeah, super thankful for Broadwell, like always, you know, putting my name out there and getting the job done for good old Miles.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now, I also am curious because how you got on. I know this is kind of years later, but there's a cool story on how you got on Quicksilver too.
Yeah, that was insane actually. So Quicksilver used to do that Instagram contest. I think I was 16 or 15, and it was like post a clip, post a little edit on Insta. You get like a certain amount of views or likes or like, you know, votes, and then you like get to go on this like insane trip to go heli ski with like Austin, Sweden, and Travis Rice was there like my first year doing the contest, and I didn't win the contest, but like we went out, we heli skied, and like it was fucking insane. Like made like lifelong friendships, and kind of was just like, you know, playing cool with like Sweden, like yo, like what's good with like Quicksilver. And I like kind of dropped the seed real early on, and he was like, yeah, like I would love to like start like a Young Guns team or something, like get more like youngins on. And I was like, dope, like that'd be sick. And then, like, nothing really happened the whole, like, next year, and I was kind of, like, riding for Seth, like, for Volcom and, like, getting, like, some flow stuff. And then, you know, next year happens, winter goes on, and they're doing another Young Guns contest. And I wasn't even going to do it because I was like, you know, I did it. I got invited on the trip, like, went heli skiing. Like, that was fucking awesome. Like, I'll let someone else, like, do the contest. And then the night before, like, the contest ends, like, Sweden hits my DMs, is like, yo, post a video, like, I need you to come out, like, I just want to ride with you and shit. And I was like, word, like, sounds good. Like, so I just posted the edit, got in, like, got on the trip. I'm like, let's fucking go. We're in Revy, like, gotta go, like, heli board. And I was just having a good time. And then, fuck, like, I won the contest. And it was crazy. You're, like, 15, 16 years old, and you win $10,000. You're like, shit. Yeah. So
That's paper.
that was sick.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to buy comic books and fucking go to the movies. Like, let's go.
Did you blow it all on comic books, or is it still stashed away somewhere?
I don't know. I think, honestly, parents took control of that.
Good
and
move.
then, yeah,
Did something with it
yeah, did some nice stuff
for
with
your
it.
benefits,
Yeah,
probably.
hooked the homie up, you know.
Dope.
I think
Joe
it's
Fallon.
funny talking about going back to, you know, Sweeten there. I when I look at your snowboarding, it's kind of like a combination of like Sweeten and like Stevens and Rav, kind of like all balled into one, because you got the Sweetens bouncing around, popping off everything, going fast, explosive, like how you ride, and then
Yeah.
Stevens and Rav, they get crafty out there, and you got that like blend. It seems like to me.
Dude, yeah, and it was cool because I never even like I don't like watch snowboard videos or anything. I like watch like fucking superhero movies, and I'm like, I'm gonna go crazy now. And like I met up with Sweden, and I was like, dude, like I like love how like we're always seeing the same shit, like the same side hits and everything. Like I'm like, damn, it's like riding with like BMO or someone, and that was sick. And then yeah, like I won the contest and like kept talking to Sweden, and Sweden just kept putting my like name up to the uppers at Quickie, and next thing you know, like shit like came to fruition, and like signed my first contract like 4 years ago or 3 years ago.
Signing Connie's.
Yeah, and
At a young age.
yeah, which was sick. I think I was 17, like, once it happened, and I was just like, damn.
You have to have your parents sign with you at 17, I bet, huh?
Yeah.
Legal
it was-
guardian.
Yeah, legal guardians got to
Yeah.
sign. That's
Yeah.
tight.
And, yeah, super thankful for Sweden. Like, homie saw something, I guess, and thank you, Austin. You're the man. I love you, Wombat.
Wombat. So
Well-
you get your influence from superhero movies, huh?
Matt, yo, like, don't even, I'll whip out my phone. I have every single Spider-Man movie downloaded on my shit.
Sick.
Yeah, like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland.
Yeah, I think
whole
I
crew.
think when we get to name that video part, it's not looking good for
It's
the
not
kid.
looking good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be. You have to play from the
I was-
Marvel universe.
I was picking his brain, and I was like, "Dude, what videos?" And he's like, "I like video grass, like Shoot to the Moon,
Shoot to the
Jet,
Moon."
Jet Anderson."
Yeah, that was like the first video I owned or something. Didn't you were like driving a golf
Shoot
cart or
to the
something?
moon.
The correct name of the movie is Shoot the Moon. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shoot the moon.
Shoot to the moon.
I'm like, it's not looking good.
You
for
see that new
MTV.
Wakanda Forever teaser?
Yeah, dude, that shit went crazy,
It's gonna
dude.
be dope.
Phase 5 is gonna be nuts.
Nuts.
It's gonna be nuts. Or they're ending it Wakanda for phase 4.
For
so.
phase 4, then they
Yeah.
restart. Chris probably hasn't seen any one of these.
Dude, Wakanda slaps like Wakanda forever, bro. R.I.P. He's the
Yeah,
man.
R.I.P. That one's gonna be next level
Next level. Yeah, Marvel's on some shit.
on some shit.
Disney, hit my line. Let's go.
Dude, you'd be good in
Well,
one of those as a superhero character.
Dude, yeah, after the
look.
Stranger Things shit, I'm like, yo, like, let me get
Yeah.
like an agent. Let me
Let's
get
talk
access.
about
Yeah,
this because
let's-
not everybody knows. You did a shoot with basically Netflix and Quicksilver. They had some type of collaboration. Explain what that was and what you did.
Yeah, dude. So they just like homies at Quickie sent me an email. They're like, yo, would you be interested in like doing this video like Netflix Quicksilver shit? Like X Stranger Things. They're calling it Project Ruby, like super under wraps. I had to sign like a bunch of like non-disclosure forms like
Sick.
before they told me what was going down. And I was like, yeah, like let's go. I'm free in the fall. Let's do this. And it was crazy, dude. Like they flew me out to Texas. Next thing you know, it's like all my favorite surfers are there. And then like they had like $1 million production team from Portland called Grizzly Productions or whatever. And it was nuts. Like ginormous cameras. Never seen anything like it. Trucks everywhere. They had like a bunch of trailers with like food and stuff like on set. And pretty much like whatever you wanted, like snacks, ramen, like get after it. And it was a lot of work. Like, not even gonna lie, like being on set from like literally like 6:30 in the morning till like, 7 at night. And it was like fun, but like aggressive.
was
And I had no idea what I signed up for, but it was sick. And I'm like super stoked on the outcome of like the project and super thankful. And it was really cool.
Did they make it look like Stranger Things in the underside world or something when you're
Yeah.
surfing? Is that what they did?
Yeah, so yeah, we were surfing in the upside down.
Upside down,
Yeah,
that's
so
what's
like
up.
if you haven't seen the video, we're from Hawkins. We're driving a van through like some sus area. Van breaks down. One of the homies is like infected by the upside down that's in the van with us. He's like kind of tripping out the whole time. And then we meet up with Mikey Wright, the mechanic, and he's like draws a map on my hand. He's like, "Go here, bro. That's where the waves are," or some like crazy shit in his Aussie accent. And then like we go to the waves, fucking upside down takes over. We start shredding the waves, like yeah. So it
And
was
you're in
sick.
Waco, Texas at the wave pool, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Waco at night. That was fucked up. All right, so we're at Waco and it's 3 a.m, bro. Like it's fucking sucks. We're all tired. It's like 40 degrees out. The water's colder and they want us in board shorts and shit. I was like, dude, low key, like, I need a bonus right now. This is like fucked up. And everyone was like kind of like, in like a little bitchy mood. But hey, we pushed through it and it was really fun. And
How was surfing that?
dude, I got fucking played. Like I was getting wrecked out there because it was a backhanded wave for me. So I was going left and it was just like, and I'm regular for like those who don't know. And it's just like kind of difficult I don't really like go left and get fucking barreled. Like I'm not like that, like amazing. And it was fun though. Caught a couple waves, was trying to like steeze it out. But the surfers on the team, they're so fun to watch, like phenomenal. Like Canelo Grashi, I think he got like silver in the Olympics. And he's just like, just to see like people rip like 10-foot airs on a surfboard is like insane in person. So it was a good time. It was really fun.
And the final project came out really sick.
Yeah, really well done. Like I didn't expect it to be that sick. I was like, damn, they went off. But like it was crazy. Like we had our own trailers, did hair and makeup and shit.
You
I'm
got
like,
hair and makeup. And
Yeah,
you get in the
bro.
water too, huh?
Yeah,
Sick.
it was nice.
How was the
Making
snacks?
kid look good.
How was
Yeah.
the snacks?
Bro, snack game, unbelievable.
What are we talking?
Dude, crazy shit. We got like Swedish fish. We
Damn.
got like Hot Pockets.
Damn, Hot Pockets.
Yeah, they got like healthy Gatorade, whatever that is. Like,
That sounds like a hitter. Dude, anybody ever tell you look like Christian Hosoi?
that's dope. But no,
Do you know who that is?
not really. The skater?
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
OG skater. I just
do
had
for
that.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got Christian Hosoi vibes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, we're going to talk to you guys about Sunbum. Good people doing good things, supporting our industry, supporting people in our industry. They got a great team of snowboarders on the squad. They do events. And what's not to love about staying safe from the sun? I stay lathered up with Sunbum, whether it's winter, summer. You can still get roasted in the winter. The sun bounces off of that snow and you get cooked. You look like a Kenny Rogers chicken before you know it. So I use this mineral face stick. It's SPF 50, I believe. I've been out there getting completely shacked in the ocean all summer. By shacked, I mean basically drowning, not catching any waves. But if you want to not get sunburned, I recommend getting this mineral sunscreen on your face. If you want to pick some up, head on over to sunbum.com. Use promo code BOMBHOLE for 15% off and get yourself some sunscreen. Let's change gears here and get into a guest question. This guest question is presented by Union Bindings. Now, the thing I love about the Forces, that's the bindings I run, right out of the box, these things are good to go, no break-in period. They are the #1 binding in snowboarding. They've been in the Union collection since day one, 18 years and running. More riders trust the Force than any other binding in the market. I seen Miles used to run Forces back in the day. Now what are you running?
I'm riding these bad boys, the Ultra.
Ultra is like
Ultra binding.
they're on like Forces on steroids, basically. But I grew up around Scott Stevens a ton, and I always wanted to ride Unions. I knew if I didn't have a sponsor, the bindings that I'm gonna buy is gonna be Unions. So if you know what's good, pick up some Unions. And with that being said, we got a guest question from, I believe he was your coach at High Cascade, Max Warbington. Here we go.
Stone, Grundy's, Smiles, Max Warbington here, hanging out in the pond. Being somebody who is a complete savage on everything he shreds and is fully capable of just doing something that'll blow your mind every single time he straps in, I'm wondering where Miles has the motivation or what he sees as a benefit or some of the major benefits of going ham for a single video all season. I wonder how Miles feels about filming a full video all season long versus kind of just dropping crazy stuff every single day.
Sick. Yeah, Max. Miss you, dude. Good question. Yeah, as a snowboarder, you have two options. You're making video parts, or you're or you have multiple options, honestly. You can't really say that's a bunch of shit you could do. Or you're more of an influencer, you're ripping contests, traveling, doing crazy shit. And I haven't really been able to set that much time aside to film strictly for a full part. For How Dark Blue Feels, I only filmed for a month in total, which is not as much as I want to. I want to spend a whole season ripping and kind of showing everyone what I could do in the streets or backcountry or whatever. And that's kind of been hard for me, but it's just you're busy as fuck, so you can't really make some time. But it's I'm trying to make it way more of a staple in my season to just film for one thing, because to me that's a snowboarder's Picasso. I don't know, that's their finish to express themselves. This is how I felt all year. This is what I was doing. This is where I was. Because when making a snowboard part, the coolest thing I take away is where we're at. This past year, I'll leak a few. I filmed with Bryden and Denver again and Keegan. Shout out those homies, and we had Phipps with us, and it was sick. And we were just snowboarding in places I never thought I'd snowboard in, St. Louis or Kansas City. And then we went to Estonia, Eastern Europe, and just the places snowboarding's able to take you is such a blessing and so cool to experience all that stuff. Because I didn't go to college, or I decided not to go to school because I wanted to pursue this snowboard thing. And I'd definitely say snowboarding has provided this untapped knowledge that most things can't really, because you're traveling the world with your best friends, experiencing crazy things. And I'm just so thankful and grateful. It's been
that
sick.
street knowledge, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Get that street degree.
Yeah.
It's sick, yeah. And you just hang out with cool people who drop wise shit on you all the time, which is awesome. You just got to soak it in like a sponge.
Like a sponge. How was Tallinn, Estonia?
Dude, it was sick. I don't know. Probably, I think they built a bunch of shit since the last time you were there. So there was there was mad shit, and I was loving it. The people were so nice. They're they fucking love American pop culture, because they've just been enslaved by all their surrounding countries. So since I think until the 90s, we were talking to some of the locals, and they're yeah, we just want to be America and be able to do what we want to do, which is weird to hear in this day and age, because everyone's fuck America, all this shit. But it's definitely cool to hear damn, these people got it rough, you know. And
They broke free from the Soviet Union like 93 or something like that.
yeah, and
Early
like they were
90s.
referring to like the Berlin Wall and stuff, and how it just like sometimes feels like, you know, like that and stuff. So, and it was just crazy to be in Eastern Europe with all the Russian, like Ukraine shit going on. Like that was just like crazy.
Well, that's true.
Bunch
You're
of
that close to it.
That's a perfect example of how you're learning culture through
Yeah.
traveling and
Yeah.
not through a
Through a
textbook
book or a news.
which is they're both great, but you're learning in a different type of way, and that's like it's great when you go home and you have an appreciation for your country.
My
or-
problem with the
Totally.
textbook is I don't know if I trust the people that put them out.
Good point.
But I
Yeah.
do trust when I'm walking around Talon, hearing from the
Exactly.
people like what's up. You know.
Yeah, totally.
My opinion.
Traveling like just exposes you to experiences that like a book cannot,
Yeah.
and that's just like one of the most like sickest things about snowboarding. You get to go to like dope ass places, talk to people,
Food.
go out. The food's fucked up. Like Action Bronson, I like had this idea where I'm like, why can't I? Well, actually, we want to start this thing called like Wildy Way. And it's more of this thing where it's like we capture all the like BTS of like what our life is like really like. It's like kind of like a vlog, but it's less of like a vlog, more of like an Anthony Bourdain type of vibe. And it's just like we give honest opinions on like whatever the fuck we're doing or wherever we're at, and it's just like kind of sick. I don't know. We've been kind of brainstorming
Sounds
this,
dope.
but that's like sick.
Yeah, make that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you eat any of the bear over there and all that?
I did not. I ate like blood sausage
Blood
and
sausage?
like all that shit. Yeah, we found like this little hole in the wall like one night. People were like playing the cello and
Sick.
shit, and like the fucking whatever this thing is, a piano with the bag.
Oh yeah, what is that called?
Bagpipe.
No, the piano.
Oh,
one with the
yeah.
Xylophone?
It's
No?
something-
Shit, I don't know
I
the
forget
name.
what that thing's called, but
Something crazy.
got a name. It's
Such
got
a
a name.
vibe though.
it's
and
got that medieval vibe over there.
yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
the old town. Like
Old Town is dope.
everything's just old in Europe, and like you like are like, damn, like where I'm at is probably older than how long America's been like a country.
It is for sure.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like
without a doubt.
yeah, like I heard this story. We were shout out fucking the homies in Austria. We were in Austria and like Vernie, we were at his parents' hotel, super nice. We're in
Bernie Stock.
yeah, Vernie Stock, the
OG.
fucking most OG homie, absolute legend. And we're at his restaurant. It's like his parents have like a beautiful hotel, and like we're in Austria, it's great. And there's this like chandelier, and I guess like some people were like hanging on it, and like that were like with dark from America and shit. And these people are like, don't hang on that, like that chandelier is older than your country. And I was just like, that's fucking crazy.
And it was true.
Yeah, definitely.
Now I kind of want to circle back to something Warbs was kind of allotting to too, which is interesting to kind of highlight. Is he was kind of mentioning, he's like, basically you're so good at snowboarding that you can kind of go viral essentially with just riding and putting it on Instagram versus filming a video part. And it's really cool to hear because I do think that the video part is in such high regard. It is the king of the castle, so to speak. But it's also interesting to kind of play devil's advocate where you can go snowboarding and do a trick and it can get 1 million views and it reaches so many people and it's so like easy for you to do that the way that you ride, that it's interesting that like, you know, you could go either way. They're both a win-win. But I think about the video part too. Like they're really good for certain people like myself. Like I can't go to a mountain and do what you do, but you give me a down rail and 400 tries, I can come up with something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so like I can
And
take
400
I can
tries.
take like a whole season. If you take a whole season of me battling tricks, like I can create an illusion that I'm fucking good at snowboarding. But like you don't need to do that. Like you can just
No.
go and just beat down the
Kid's a
park.
natural.
And so it's kind of interesting. I think it's good to do it all, but I just wanted to elaborate on like posting clips on Instagram versus the part with your
Yeah.
skill set. They're both kind of a win-win.
Totally. You guys are being too nice though, by the way. I mean, it's been like kind of a weird relationship, like the part, like building a part and, you know, being the social whatever, because your contracts you sign, like companies love that social media shit. Like they kind of like that more than your part. They could really give to like two fucks about like you spending all year like trying your hardest to like film something really dope. They rather you get like, you know, 150,000 views and like you're wearing their next year's shit or whatever, which is kind of like, you know, it sucks. But at the same time, it's like, all right, let's go to the office, Reggie, and like get this fucking 100K clip. Let's fucking go. And which is like fun and like, you know, it's kind of like fucking insane that it's like I could say that like, yeah, let's go to the office, go to the mountain, and like try to get these incentives going. Like, I'm just like, this is fucked up.
They really want that more than a video part, though, huh?
Yeah, with the people I talk to, it's more of like a corporate thing, I guess, nowadays, which is sad, I guess. But like for like, you know, people in Salt Lake in the more niche like community of snowboarders, they appreciate that full part and like appreciate things like how Dark Blue feels. And I think they're really going to appreciate what we drop in this fall.
Well, I'll just talk about video parts, buds. You know what it's time for.
Name that video part.
Fuck. Drink this pub beer.
All right, Name That Video Part is presented by Woodward, specifically Woodward Park City. Right now, this time of year, it's great for skateboarding, great for mountain biking. While there's no snow on the ground, they're open from, I believe, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
That's correct.
You'll get some laps in. You can skate with some top pros. You can maybe even, sack a rail if you want to, bud.
It's only 15 minutes from Salt Lake City, which is the closest riding you're going to do to the city.
You know what I like about that? It's, if you want to get good at snowboarding, you got to get those reps up. You got to go snowboarding a lot in order to be good. So if you only have an hour, you got 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, you can't go all day, boom, you cruise to Woodward, you get those reps up, you get good. One thing that they're focused on over at Woodward is like the progression all the way from learning how to snowboard all the way to hitting massive kickers and super pipes. So it's great. The next generation of snowboarders, skateboarders, etc., is going to be incredible due to places like this.
The little mini jumps are perfect for somebody like me.
Exactly.
Then I can watch somebody like Miles and yourself just killing it on the big stuff.
No, I'll be on the mini stuff.
Perfect place to go ride. So check out Woodward Park City if you're in the area. That being said, let's get into Name That Video part. So, Miles, how you feeling confidence-wise?
Confidence is low, very low. I'm not very good with stuff like this, or even names for that matter. So we'll get
0 through 10, what do you got?
Of my chances of ripping this?
Yeah, like what's your percentage, like confidence level? Like how you feel?
Oh,
like
dude.
10
like,
being confident.
We're like a 3.5.
3.5? Okay,
like
I
a
like
Dave
that.
Portnoy sloppy slice of pizza.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, let's see how you do.
She told me that with great power
Dude, comes great responsibility. Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's fucking go. That is so fire. I was like, I thought it was like some Freddie like Perry shit at first, but I was like, yo.
Oh, was that Tom Holland?
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Yeah, that's the one with Zendaya's in it. Zendaya.
Yeah, like you got Toby up there and you got Andrew to the left of him, and and then it's game's on.
Game's on.
Like I said earlier, I knew that when your favorite video was "quote unquote" shoot to the moon, we were in trouble, and I had to pull something out.
That was a good pull.
Fire.
Good pull.
I mean, fuck, I watched that movie yesterday, probably.
That's sick. You watch them multiple times.
Instead of watching like somebody do a trick on a snowboard, like Spider-Man gets you hyped to go snowboard.
Yeah, definitely,
To go,
dude.
that makes
Dude's
sense.
got some
Yeah,
moves
like
out there.
fuck, bro. When Peter Parker saves MJ from dying, you're like, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm about to rip a fucking double. Like,
Well, that reminds me, you just won Name That Video part.
Yes.
So we got a couple of gifts in here. First, we got a little gift bag from our friends over at Yeti. They hooked us up with a bunch of these for our guests. And then we also have some Slow Tide towels. So Slow Tide's been a good partner with the show. They're making towels and blankets. You go surfing.
Thank you.
They make all kinds of good stuff. My favorite thing that they make is the poncho,
Oh,
where you
yeah.
can change out of your wetsuit and you don't got to go dong out in a parking lot.
very
That's I don't know where that thing was for the last like 50 years.
Great
or whatever,
invention.
but- Great
Microfiber.
invention. Yeah.
They got all kinds of cool designs
Isn't
on their
there
towels.
a code too?
Yeah, I believe it's bombhole20. If you head on over to slowtide.co, and there's a discount code for that. And also you can find the Slow Tide towels that are available at bombhole.com as well. So all of our merch that's on there, we got hats. What else we got in there, bud?
Slides. We got shorts. Winter line be coming soon.
We also have signed Miles Prince,
That's
shot
right.
by who?
East Stone.
Your boy Stony Buds, the one and only.
The stoniest.
So for part 2, what was that drop? Can I get the
Stone Buds.
Stone Buds Productions.
Starbucks. Okay, for part 2, name that video part. This is for our listeners. You don't have to answer this one. If you know this video part, comment on Instagram, on Bombhole's Instagram, on the photo of Miles when the episode comes out, and that's where we pick our winner. Here we go. Great part. Okay, thank you guys for playing.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? I have no idea who that is, dude.
Me neither. I heard some jib noises though.
All right, all this talk about regular movies and how much you love them, I got to ask, are you one of those people that goes to the movies by themselves?
I am definitely one of these people. Yeah, I'm really into it. I like being alone and submerge myself into whatever film I'm about to indulge on. It's pretty sick.
See, to me, that's like a depressing experience. Really? Yeah, like I feel like it's sad when I see somebody by themselves at the movie. I'm like, damn, that dude must be lonely as hell. Like that's what goes through my head.
You don't talk at the movies, or you shouldn't talk.
No, yeah. See, like that's what most people. That's how they usually react. They're like, "Dude, like, what's wrong with you? Like,
are you
don't
okay?"
have friends?"
Like, that's what I want to think. Like, are you okay?
Which is sick. They're asking me that because that question doesn't get asked enough. But like, I am fine. I just like going to the movies and getting stoned and not talking to people. It's fire.
I think it's dope.
What about when people are chatterboxes in the movie theater?
No go. No
fly
go.
zone? So are you just like Marvel blockbuster? Are you drama? Are you comedy? Like what are we talking? It sounds like you're a blockbuster guy.
I'm into it all. Love blockbuster, like, you know, all those franchise films, like into it to the Fast and Furious to Twilight. Like,
damn,
get at me.
You like a good
sound effects? Oh, Twilight's a little
good indie film too.
Yeah, I love like all the A24
Garden State
stuff.
You ever watch that back in the day?
I don't think so, actually.
Good
See,
one.
yeah, like I'll add that to the movie list.
Yeah, that's OG for his
That's
time.
OG,
Yeah.
one, a little before your time, maybe.
No,
but
but
you're from Jersey, so
yeah, that I should look that shit up.
Yeah.
I should know better. But yeah, love movies. Love like.
You're not down with
on-screen.
Twilight, Chris?
Twilight? I don't like any of the like weird sci-fi kind of vibes. Like I just
Really?
can't get into it. No.
Yeah, big sci-fi guy. Grew up on it. My mom, like, we read Harry Potter together when I was younger, and like she would read Twilight books to me actually when I was younger. So I was just like mad into
Raised
it.
on it.
Yeah, like vampires, werewolves, all about that.
All
shit.
of it.
I'm more of like a Team Edward kind of guy.
You are?
low-key. Yeah,
All right.
Robert Pattinson all the way. That's
All
my
right.
homie.
He's dope.
Yeah.
I hate to say I'm completely lost in this conversation.
Figured you
That's
were.
good. It's good to be lost from time to time.
my
I'm sure a lot of
Twilight
people
homies.
are really
We're not
into
talking
it.
football or
Yeah,
photo.
yeah.
Chris is out.
Yeah.
See,
that's
that's like
true.
how I talk to chicks. That's like my small talk. Like, yo, Team Edward.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
Chicks are down, dude.
No, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the skincare routine.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a sick skincare routine.
Your skin's looking nice.
Dude, I have a little blemish right here, but it's all good, you know. Nobody's perfect,
Nobody's
you know.
perfect.
Like, just love yourself, love your skin, but take care of that shit because it
What's the
gets
routine?
oily. So I got this Lance. It's the first cleanser. It's like, you know, exfoliator. That's the word I'm looking for. It
Yes.
exfoliates
Talking
the skin.
exfoliation over here.
Yeah,
It
and then
exfoliates.
it feels like nice, like soft sand, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Then you rinse that shit off, and then you use the cleanser. And my mom ordered this shit for me. It's like some Korean like pH plus pH cleanser face wash. So then I rep that next. Then after that, I rip the toner, and I got this Neutrogena like perfect skin toner. You can get it at Target. It's about like $20. It's kind of gnarly. But my mom saw it on YouTube. She like loves Korean people and they have great skin. So they're using this. I got to use it. And I use a little bit of the toner, spray it on the pad, wipe the excess dirt off you missed, you know? If I have a chick sleep over, they could just use my shit. It's
They're
kind of
probably
fire.
stoked,
Oh,
huh?
yeah. They're like, the bed's made and he's got fucking like shit to wash my face with.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
They're coming back for night 2 for sure.
Fuck yeah, man.
What about the nail routine?
Oh, you like this?
I'm back in that, dude.
Yeah, so I just got on like the pedicure shit, like doing my feet.
You're
and
getting,
stuff.
dude, you're getting manis and patties, both of them.
Yeah, so like being injured, I've just been like spoiling myself low key. I'm like getting bored at the crib. Like, what do I do?
You going
So-
to pro spots?
Oh, I see the Vietnamese chicks and they love me. They're sick. I go with like my mom or like my sister and we have the most fun, you know? Like we're sitting there getting our feet done. They're like wiping the callus off my shit, and
I would feel bad for those women on,
Yeah,
on my
dude.
feet. They're
I was
fucked
looking
up.
at my feet this morning, in fact.
They might get sick if they did yours, buds.
Dude, I was looking at my feet and I was like, dude, I gotta go get a pedicure.
Nasty.
Bad, dude.
Nasty.
Bad.
Get a chainsaw out and
Yeah, we're
everything
gonna
else.
need
Put a hazmat suit on. Be a whole
Definitely
operation.
like an electric sander. The one that has the vacuum attached to it to suck up the calluses on
Just
my
like
toe.
sawdust in there. No, but it's been cool because now that I get my toes done and shit, it's like that's kind of like my level. Like if I'm talking to a chick and her toes aren't as nice as mine, it's like get
Problem.
the fuck out of there.
Problem. This is from Mo, our good buddy. As a member of the Soy Sauce Nation, you give the Asian American snowboard youth someone to look up who looks like them. Were there folks who provided the same inspiration for you?
That's a sick question. Shout out Mo, love you, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy. I didn't really put much thought into it, but yeah, half Asian, half white. It's kind of hard sometimes. Like at school, it was like you go hang out with the Asian kids, or like, you know, you're like too white for the Asian kids, and then you go hang out with the white kids, and you're like too Asian for the white kids. So you're like, what the fuck's good? But snowboarding was kind of like that thing where it like didn't really matter like what you looked like. It was like if you're cool and you like to snowboard, we have something in common. So that was like cool for me growing up. But I guess nowadays, I don't know, like it could be like more rough or like, you know, just like different or difficult for more kids who are half Asian or whatever. And I think that's really sick. You know, I love Soy Sauce Nation, AK, and like I think the first like half Asian snowboarder I met was Jesse Govea at High Cascade. And I met him and I was like, damn, I like look like this dude. Like that's kind of sick. And he was like mad pretty and like getting mad chicks. So I was like, that's fire. And
He was mad pretty.
yeah, so like, yo, all you half Asian kids out there, like, yo, let's go.
That was a great rallying the troops there. Good stuff. All right, I think we should get into another guest question. This guest question is presented by Capita Snowboards. Let's take a break, buds, and talk Capita.
Let's talk Capita.
Now, buds, did you know they own their own factory with their own ski slope right in the heart of the Austrian Alps and build all their boards with self-generated clean energy, buds?
I did know that. They pull hydropower from a river on site, and they have a slope right behind the factory.
It's a little fun fact, buds. Capita has built the most environmentally responsible snowboard production facility in the world. It's called the Capita Mothership, and they make some great boards, I'll tell you what.
The best boards.
I've been riding for about 20 plus years, so I've ridden a lot of different snowboards. And buds, you've been riding since 1409, I believe. You've probably stepped on a lot of snowboards. What do you think when you step on that Capita snowboard? How are you feeling about it?
So good, my dog.
God, I love hearing that every time. So if you're looking for a new board this winter, this season, whatever you want to call it, if you value world-class construction and environmentally responsible production, go check out Capita Snowboards' new lineup. They really are the best boards I've ever ridden.
Sheesh.
All right, let's get into this guest question from none other than Goop Surf.
Yo, what up, Miles? It's Luke here. I was just wondering if you had to choose one of the three Spider-Men, which one do you think you're the most like?
Damn.
Heavy question.
Love you, Goop. Goopy poopy.
So it's the one you're most like, huh? Not,
yeah, like
maybe he's not your favorite.
He might not be my favorite
On screen,
but honestly,
the one you're most like.
Probably I have to say, low key, I'm most like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Really?
I like Andrew Garfield the most, but I feel like I'm more of a Tobey Maguire, you know?
Can you elaborate on that?
He's kind of just like, you know, like a dope dude. Like, he's sick. He loves his chick. He loves his family. I love my fam. He's always looking out for the little guy. No real, like, any add-ons or gadgets to his suit either, which I vibe with. I feel like I would just be like, yeah. And he shoots the webs out of his body rather than making the web shooters. So, like, I feel like I'm more of, like, I don't have time to make web shooters or smart enough to do that. So I'm more of, like, shit comes out my body.
He's kind of an OG in that way.
Yeah, he's kind of OG. Like
yeah,
that.
he's
Where you
mad
at with
OG.
Tom Holland?
Love him. Yo, and he sleeps with Zendaya. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's give him an air horn.
That's sick.
It is a bonus for his
Zendaya is
character, huh?
fire. And she's so bad. Fuck. Let's just.
I started watching Euphoria and like became obsessed with Zendaya.
Yeah. Oh, she's such a good on-screen actor. Like, oh fuck, she's so sick. But yeah, Tom Holland's dope.
Dope.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna continue being Spider-Man though. There's
Who do
been
they
like
got queued
rumors.
up?
Their next Spider-Man film is gonna be called Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is like a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got the Stranger Things Miles collab going. We need to get the Spider-Man Miles Fallon.
What if
collab.
you were the next Spider-Man, dude? That'd be
Dude, I mean, there is a Spider-Man in an alternate universe named Miles.
Oh,
so
there is. You're
it
right.
could happen.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. You know, he's like Dominican and black, but I mean, a half Asian one could be sick
half
too.
Asian Spidey would be dope.
Rocking with that?
The Johnny Tsunami. Like, if they were going to do a remake, I think I could fucking kill Johnny Tsunami.
That'd be so sick.
Like, I am
100%.
him for sure.
Hopefully there's some agents listening to this. Now let's change gears out of Marvel talk and get into X Games Knuckle Huck. This year, we sat down on our couches and got to watch you in the X Games, and it was fucking dope. How was that for you?
Sick. Dude, glad you guys enjoyed. It was crazy. Surreal experience, honestly. It was like right after Do Tour, I got an email from like the same chick who invites everyone to Do Tour.
Sarah?
Yep. Yeah, shout out Sarah. She's a shit. And they were just like, yo, like, come do X Games Knuckle Huck. Like, and I was just like in my bed one morning, like I like swiped over, like double checked it. I was like, no way. Like, I just got invited to X Games. First person I hit up is Zeb. I'm like, yo, I'm coming for your ass. And I was just like super hyped, super stoked. You know, my family came out for X Games, which was beautiful. Just to like have them at an event, which that is like so big to like experience, was like super cool. And everyone at X Games is really nice. And the contest I was in, the Knuckle Huck, is like the sickest fucking contest ever. It's like, didn't feel like a contest at all. Like right before the event, me and my boys, Noah Skelly and Jersey Mike, we were just like hotboxing the shit out of my truck. in the athlete like parking lot, and there's like all these athletes like waxing their boards up, like scraping and shit, and we're just like listening to Tupac, like getting high as fuck. and I was like,
Scully and Jersey Mike.
yeah, Noah Skelly, Wildy White. And I, you know, like it just felt so natural to be there and so cool. And yeah, it was sick. I'm super thankful. And like, I got to talk about like some sick shit, like do a little cyberbullying ad, which was cool. And like, just, it's cool to like do stuff like that exposes you to new things. So it's cool. I was out of my comfort zone a little, just like being surrounded by people who'd like do that shit, you know? So it's cool to like get in that atmosphere and like be like, oh, these guys don't fuck around. Like it's game time. So it's sick.
That's a good attitude.
You rode well, and it's fun to see you with the big dogs out there getting it.
Much appreciated.
Now, earlier you just mentioned Tupac. You were slapping Tupac, getting torched in the truck. What you know, Buds and I, we're a couple dinosaurs over here. What are the kids slapping these days? What do we listen to?
Music-wise?
Yeah, what do we listen to? What are we getting going?
Dude, all right, so I was just at this place called Floatcella in Jersey.
Sick.
Which is like this crazy ass event. So if you have a boat, you drive out to this spot, sandbar, chicks in bikinis, crazy, too much like beer, everything's like awesome. And everyone was ripping Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Bad Bunny
Wow,
is
Bad
the
Bunny.
shit.
Bad Bunny's on.
Does
Bro,
he got
yeah.
a new track out that's just fire, or just
Dude,
Bad Bunny
all his
day?
shit is just fire, which is sick. And, you know, yeah, Bad Bunny's a shit. Shout out Bad Bunny. That's my vibe right now.
Good answer. And then earlier you also said you've mentioned your knee injury. Do you want to talk us through what happened and how that rehab process has been?
Yeah, so on April 14th, I took a little knuckle at Woodward Park City. It was actually a big fucking knuckle, and felt this crazy pop in my knee. Next thing you know, I'm at like the emergency room getting x-rays, making sure I didn't like break my fucking bone or whatever. Knew something was up, didn't know what was good. So just kind of scrambling. Took a couple weeks to get an MRI, finally did. Turns out I like completely tore my ACL. And I was like, fuck, that's kind of sucks. So instantly, morals were pretty low. Everyone, I was like bummed, had all these plans, you know, to go do shit. And then I was just like, you know what, go home, rehab, see the family. Haven't seen them in forever. And yeah, so it's just been kind of like a reset for Miles. And I've just been back home in Jersey working with my PT, Nate. He's the man. And yeah, PT every day pretty much, working out, using the bands. And yeah, that's the goal right now. Just get back stronger and get at it. And it's kind of tough because I've dealt with one injury before like this. I broke my tib, fib, and ankle all at one time at High Cascade when I was younger. But when you're younger, I feel like you kind of bounce back quicker mentally and physically a little. It's been more of a struggle with the PT, with the ACL. Anyone who's torn their ACL knows it's kind of a fucking bitch, like, to get back. And the chances of a re-tear are really high, which you never like to hear. So I've just been, like, grinding to get it stronger and, you know, working on that mental, trying to stay off Instagram and shit, because that's been, like, the toughest part is just, like, seeing all your friends do everything you want to do, and you're just stuck at home working on the bod, which is sick, and that's definitely a motivator, but at times it could be, like, a little fucking, like, damn, I'm down bad right now. But
down bad.
Yeah.
Well, we get a lot of messages from people that are like, oh, I just blew out my knee, or I just blew out my shoulder. Like, do you have any advice? You know?
Yeah, man, I would just say find something that makes you happy, that's like chill, like fishing, reading a good book somewhere, enjoying time with family, like chatting to people you haven't seen in a while, and like really just like, you know, just focus on yourself and like don't get down, like don't look at your phone for an hour or whatever, like just stay away from the phone. That's been like my biggest enemy, is my fucking phone. And
great advice.
Yeah,
That's
so
really good advice.
Yeah, just trying to do that. And I was watching this Timmy Chalamet interview, and he was just like, you know, the sickest advice, or actually it was Austin Butler interview, and the sickest advice he ever got was like from Tom Hanks, and it was like, you know, just like take 10 minutes out of your day to just read a book or like draw or something, to like completely blank out what's ever stressing you out and making you feel fucked in that moment, or like, you know, chicks, bad, or whatever's going on. Take 10 minutes to just focus on something completely different, and then like you'll be so much more stoked and like so happy.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
I've heard with the ACL too, you just want to build the muscles up around it, right?
Yeah,
Just
all
to have a
the
successful
quad,
recovery.
calf, everything. Yeah, you pretty much just want to be stronger than you were before. Mm-hmm. So that's like been the daily grind.
Some people, they're not doing the surgery anymore, right? They're just building up the muscles with some people.
I don't know.
Tony Kirkala went that
Oh, really?
route. Yeah.
Really? How old is that guy?
He's older.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
He's not old. He's like, what, 30?
He's probably like right around 30 somewhere.
Yeah, they were saying if I was like, you know, upper, like my later 20s or whatever, maybe like not getting surgery would be an option. But since I'm so young, it just like the play was there and we took it. And
yeah,
stoked.
yours might actually connect better than an older person, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart.
I see a lot of people, you know, look at Sam Taxwood, or I have other friends that get really into the road bike. Biking's a great way to get your knee strong.
Dude, yeah, that's been really sick, actually. My mom's got a Peloton. So, like...
Oh, those are dope.
Yeah, it's been fucking nuts. Just, like, go up there, rip 20 minutes, start getting, like, sweaty, heart's pumping. Feels good. But, yeah, it's crazy. I didn't realize how many, like, people actually go through this ACL thing in our, like... Or just knee surgeries and stuff in our community. You never really realize it till it happens to you, because I was always kind of, like... My mindset was like, dude, like... My knees are fucking awesome. Like, this shit can't happen to me. Like, I mean, we were riding, and I feel like you probably see my knees do some, like, crazy shit, like rippy flip off a tube or whatever. And, like, yeah. So it's kind of a nice reminder that you're fucking human, dude. Like, chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the knees are the suspension, man. It can happen to anybody.
Gotta take care of yourself.
The other perspective shift for an injury, too, that I find that you probably can relate to, when later in the year, I blew my shoulder out and had to get surgery. And it was kind of like life was all hectic, and then it's like a forced chill. You're like, oh, okay, now I got to like slow it down and just like chill out a little bit. And sometimes you need that.
Yeah, the forced chill. Totally. Yeah, sometimes you definitely do need a reminder that you're like human and you're like not invincible.
Even in going back to when we were in Loon this year, we were at Last Call, and it was slushy the week before. You were going dummy. And then right when the contest started, it got frozen. And you paid the piper there.
Yeah, I caught like my heel on that kink rail and just like flew backwards straight to ice on my back. And I was like, fuck. And just like, fuck this. And sometimes shit just happens and you gotta like, you know, pay the price, you know. Gotta pay to play is what I was telling everybody.
You got to pay the cost to be the boss.
That's the
Fuck
truth.
yeah.
Well, we happen to have one other guest question. This is our last one, and this is from none other than Brennan Rigo. Here we go.
Yo, Miles. What up, dog? It's Rigo. I got a guest question for you. I'm stoked that you made it into the bomb hole booth. Over the years, we filmed quite a bit. You got to be one of my favorite people to film with just because of the energy that you bring to the table. Running the Capitagram, seeing that as our most watched video 2 years in a row, the energy that you bring to the table, it doesn't go unnoticed. And I'm just wondering, how do you get that explosive energy? Like, what fuels you every day when you strap in to just bring that to the table? I feel like you got a really unique approach to your snowboarding, and it's unmatched. And I'm just wondering, what fuels that for you?
Sick. Rigo, love you, dude. Rigo's the man. He films most of my shit. So on the gram, if you like it, he probably filmed it. So he's the man. And I don't know, what fuels my energy really is just like, I just like to have fun, man. That's like the biggest thing for me is like, I just want to be the guy on my snowboard. I might not be the sickest or like the most skilled rider or whatever, but as long as I have the biggest smile and having the most fun, I think people will always be attracted to that. And like, that speaks like thousands, like better, like more than like, I think being like someone sick who's like having a terrible time, I guess.
Well, it's a great thing to bring up. It's a great thing to bring up and talk about with snowboarding because there's a lot of people that can do hard tricks, but maybe their vibe isn't high. It's just like a very serious, focused thing. But when you get a crew, like when we were riding in Loon, and it was like me, you, and Viz, and the whole gang, like the energy was high. It was so easy to chuck roast because you're just like, oh, Miles just did a goddamn rippy flip off of the tube. All right, we're getting some right now. And it's like, I love that, like talking about that energy when you get with your right crew and people just, it's infectious. You just go crazy and you embody that. It's cool.
Totally. That's definitely another factor. It's like who you surround yourself with. I've always like tried to surround myself with people who are better than me, nicer than me, like just better humans, because that will like, you know, rub off a little on you. And yeah, just like always riding with my best friends, just having the most fun. Doesn't matter where we are. Like we could be in Pennsylvania, it could be raining, and like if we're still together shredding, it's like, dude, no one could take that away from us, which is awesome.
It's like compound interest on the good times, huh?
Fuck yeah.
That's dope.
And the clip, it reminds me of like you and Zeb riding together when we were at Red Bull Heavy Metal. He follow cammed you out of the big ass drop and then down the whole course. And I was just like watching that from like long lens, my view. And it was really cool. I'm like, these two guys are psychopaths. This is fun to watch.
Exactly. That's like a dude that like I love to be around. Zeb, love you, dude. Thank you for everything. He just like, he's another dude that's just always trying to be happy, never really trying to like talk shit or just like be down. He's like, oh, sick, like that's what you're into. That's awesome. Like, nicest dude. So trying to be a little bit more like Zeb every day. That's and dope. Yeah, he just says fuck it. So like just living with that fuck it mentality, because I've learned whenever I'm like snowboarding and I think of something I really want to do and it might be like a little gnarly or whatever, and then I don't do it, I like can't live with myself. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I try that or like do that? Like it's like, why didn't I give it a try, you know? And I think that's like the biggest thing is like, dude, if like don't second guess yourself. If you feel like you should do something, just fucking do it. Mm-hmm. And that's like been really cool with like my friends and stuff. Like they're all just like ready to rip whenever. Like it could be like, all right, it's 4:00 in the morning. We're at Twilight getting like twisted. Let's drive to SoCal and go surf for a couple days type of vibe. Like I love just being around people like that.
These young dogs are full of vinegar.
Yeah,
they got the
spur of the moment onion. Living right there.
But the other thing, thinking about too, I love what you just said there, like that feeling of not trying to trick and it eating away at you. And I always looked at it as it's better to drive home. Like I'd rather drive home and be completely bodied than drive home and wish I tried something.
Definitely,
because then at least you know you fucking gave it.
You gave it your all. You definitely. Yeah, that's the big. Yeah, that's totally real. You know, you're driving home and you didn't do it. You're like, fuck this shit. I'm such a bitch.
Well, I want to transition back into how Dark Blue feels, the video you filmed for last year that's out online now. What's up with the name? It's an interesting name. I think we actually have a Patreon question that kind of breaks that down.
This is from Patreon question from CC Nelson. How Dark Blue Feels was my favorite film from last season. What I want to know is it How Dark Blue Feels or How Dark Blue Feels? You got me?
Yeah, I think I got you. Thanks, CC. That's awesome. How Dark Blue Feels is your favorite movie. That means a lot. But I think it is, over the winter, we had a few ups and downs like every crew does, you go through it. You're with these dudes every day, day in, day out. And sometimes they suck. And sometimes, you suck. But you don't have no idea. And I think it was sick because we were all still friends after it, no matter like what the feud was. And I think the title, How Dark Blue Feels, is more of like, like how does dark blue feel? And I think that's kind of what our season was like. It was a little dark. It was a little blue at times, and that's how it felt. But we were still able to get the job done, and it was sick.
Do you think the guy who made it kind of with the title kind of was thinking that?
Yeah, maybe. Bryden's crazy. He's an artistic wizard. Shout out Bryden Boley. Love you, dude.
He's nice with it.
Yeah,
nice
homie's fucking nice. But dude, he's a little like genius. He's super into art, super into poetry, super into like video art as well, just like people doing weird shit. And I think he draws a lot of inspiration from that. And I definitely think he wanted people to be like a little like, what is dark blue? Like how like he wanted to throw people for a little spin.
Is it dark or is it dark blue?
Yeah.
A little E-code twist on the title.
Or is there somebody named Blue that's going through a dark period?
I thought maybe
as well?
Blue Montgomery was going through a dark period.
So I got to ask on a trick nerd kind of basis. So when I was watching that video, there's a lot of really like unique spots. Like take, for example, like wall ride and then you board slide down that awning metal thing. Things like that. Are these spots that you find that you want to do? Or is Bryden one of those filmers that's like kind of giving you a nudge like, hey, you should do this. It will film sick.
That's a good question. For How Dark Blue Feels was actually really sick because we filmed a lot of it in Jamestown, New York, and Warren, PA, which is like where Bryden's from. So he's been thinking about shit to be hit there since he was in high school, So he's been like marinating on this shit. But for most of the parts, there's shit that like we're just driving around and we find. And we're like, yo, that would be sick. And Bryden's like, I've never even thought of that. Like, because if you go to Blueprint, the Pat Moore shit he did with like Jeremy and stuff, like that wall ride to rail thing is right across where Jeremy did like the jump over the thing, like staircase.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It's on the same street, and I just like saw
the line
it
he did.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly
follow
the line.
him.
Yeah,
Yep.
He did like the nollie over it, and I got mad inspo from Danimals. That one clip of him I think it's Sicky or something, and he hits the wall ride like to rail that's connected to the wall.
Yep.
And I was just like, dude, I need to hit something like this. And I just like saw the awning, saw the wall, and I was like, damn, like be sick if I just rolled down the whole street and just like surf the wall, hit the fucking railing. Didn't know if it was gonna work, but then like walked away with the clip, so it was fucking sick.
You guys put a beat down on that Jamestown down bar that's in the field.
Oh
That was
yeah,
a
the
full
golf course rail.
Slaughterhouse 5 on that thing.
That was fun, dude. Yeah, Bryden's mom came out and she helped us shovel. We built like a 10-foot tall drop in for this puppy, and we just had like it was like the rail gardens in Pennsylvania or wherever we were, and it was sick.
Moms was shoveling that big mound.
Yeah, Bryden's mom, she's a real one. Shout out Bryden's mom. She
That's
makes
dope.
really good breakfast, and she
Making
could
breakfast and shoveling.
dude, yeah, and she could like also name a bird from like any like bird noise. She's just like got it
Really?
like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now I gotta ask. We're bouncing all over the place. Quicksilver, you and Harrison Gordon.
Yeah,
How's traveling with our boy Harry G?
dude, Uncle Harrison,
Uncle
bro.
Harrison.
I fucking love Harrison, bro.
Harry and the Hendersons.
He might be the wisest person I know, low key. Homie just drops knowledge on me, and like he's also I just love like how he reacts to shit. He's like, that would be sick, or like I don't know.
No way.
Yeah, like shit like that.
I mean, yeah, I think that could be cool.
dude,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like that's his quote. That's his thing right there.
Yeah, that could be cool.
But he definitely
Yeah.
took care of me in Europe. Shout
Good
out.
man right there.
Buds, you know what I think it's time for? Pub beer.
Little pub beer?
Let's talk pub beer.
Let's talk pubbies.
Now, as you guys were talking about getting absolutely destroyed in Europe.
Yeah.
Too bad. I don't know if they have pub beer over there, but that's the choice you should go with.
They
right?
should. I'd probably bring my own if I had to, you know?
It's fun.
Smuggle it across the border.
Yeah, just bring it, carry on.
Now, if you're thinking about having 1 or 700 beers, what are you going to choose, buds?
Pub beer every time, my friend.
Great answer.
It's cheap, fun, delicious.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Pub Beer Crapshoot.
All right, roll those suckers.
That's hitting well right now. Hitting good. Woo! 11.
This is a good question. If you had to be Siamese twins with one person in the industry, which person would you pick to be stuck with?
Woo.
Like an industry head or more of like anyone, like pro snowboarder or whatever?
Well, anyone, industry head would include pro snowboarder.
Oh, okay. That would. Okay, sick.
Anyone involved in the snowboard industry, let's say.
Dude, Zeb Powell, that's kind of easy, right? That's like my boy.
You
and
guys
like,
would be concocting some maneuvers.
yeah,
son.
that homie's like always partying too, so it's probably the most fun.
Get into some shit. Yeah, there's a lot of upsides and downsides to that, too.
Yeah.
2 of them strapped in.
You want to go to bed, you're like, no,
Now-
we're going out.
Would you guys go Siamese connected at the waist or at the head so you could have a snowboard up and down? Think of the tricks
Oh,
they could
wow.
do.
Yeah, double flips
You
just
know
laid
what I
out.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be
That's kind of trippy question.
Yeah. It would be
You two
wild.
hooked up, just cruising into like an 80-foot jacker. Just,
Yeah, I don't know if
Both
we could
flip-
contain ourselves.
Yeah, it would be
low-key.
wild.
you're like, I'm going front side, I'm going backside. All right, we'll see what happens.
Just explosion
Yeah, it'd be
of
crazy.
good times.
I'd like to, we should see that. You guys should make the surgery. Can we do a surgery where that
let's-
happens?
Let's get the surgery done.
Hey, man, if I hit the re-tear on the knee, I just attach me to Zeb.
Let's go.
A 3-legged, double-headed human. That'd be great.
So we're going to do another Patreon question, but first let's talk a little bit about Patreon.
Well, I just want to say thank you to all of our Patreon members. We really appreciate you guys giving us the support. We're able to do this show. So that being said, though, if you sign up, you can get to ask a question that Buds is about to ask right now, too.
And if you don't know what Patreon is, this is basically our family. You can go to the link in the show notes, and you can go to our Patreon page, learn a little bit about it, and join up with the crew. We could not do this without your support. And this question is from Jake Rosentreater. What are your thoughts on the reefer when you shred? Does it help you hit the flow state?
Yeah, Josh. Love the reefer when I'm riding. It's pretty dope. But, you know, there's times when I'm not ripping when I'm riding. You know, I could have like just as much fun as I'm ripping sober as I am with the little grass. But it's pretty fun, man. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. If you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you're not. But I definitely think it gets me a little bit creative on the mini shred in that sense. Like preseason, little doob ski, little box ski. Let's have ourselves a little rip ski.
So you don't have to have it though. It's not a mandatory thing like some riders.
No,
I've
it's
noticed.
not Mando. But like before X Games, I was just so nervous, needed something to calm
To
the
chill,
nerves.
yeah.
So like a little bit of, you know, just bring it back to the roots, like the old hot box with your boys type of vibe.
Yeah, it got you
before-
into your comfort zone.
Yeah, it gets you like, you know, level headed, time to shred, you know.
And that mini shred, it can get you a little more creative eye, huh?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Love it.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, and you got to.
Now, I'm curious because I know not a lot of your influences come from snowboarding. You mentioned Marvel. What else? Like, what other stuff kind of influences you?
Yeah, I love fashion. I love just like Rocky, and I love rappers and stuff. And
ASAP Rocky?
Yeah, ASAP Rocky. Shout out Rocky. If you're watching this, let's make a collab happen, son.
You trying to get up on one of his tracks, or
Dude,
you wanna design
anything.
some gear?
Music
What are we talking?
video, yeah. Whatever,
Whatevs.
it's like whatever.
You're
But
down.
yeah. I mean, with like social media and stuff nowadays, it's like, yo, you could get inspired from anywhere. You're like on your phone, you see some like artist or whatever. But yeah, pretty much I find inspo everywhere. Been like really into like rock climbing and like Valley Uprising, and Dean Potter's like such a badass. Like just trying to live a little like Dean, you know. That's the vibe. Like right before I tore my ACL, I was getting into skydiving. Went skydiving for the first time. So as soon as I'm cleared, like signing up for classes, getting certified, just like ripping that. Because I feel like once I start skydiving, it's gonna like make my snowboarding like crazy.
So far, you only jumped with when you're attached?
Yeah, I did the
somebody?
tandem, and it was fucking sick, dude. It was so cool. Just
Were you
like
scared to jump out of the plane at all?
no. Once I was up there, I'm like, let's go, like let's rip it. I just always wanted to do it, and I'm not like really scared of fights or anything. And I was just like, I trust the dude that I was attached to. I guess you have to. You're like on his nutsack, like hopping up and down. So you're like, it's a big game, but you're like kind of ripping
Creates
it.
a funny visual right there.
Yeah, you know, it's like that fucking Andrew Schultz skit. He like nails it.
Yeah.
It's like so good.
What happens
give
if
you-
homie passes out, like, or something?
Dude, we're fucked. Or there's gotta be.
He's a pro,
I
though,
think
you
on
know?
the tandem packs, like once it hits a certain altitude, like chute just like rips, up, like goes open
just
once
in
it hits a
case.
certain. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah,
Does he force you to jump, or is it like on you to jump?
you got it. You initiate the jump. So like I was like, "Yo, can we hit a backflip?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah!" So and I was like, "Let's go." So like he like told me like he just jump and look back, and we're just gonna start to flip, baby. And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So I'm like squat down. BMO was right behind me too. Like we both did it together, and I jumped right before BMO. Like no choice. I'm just like, "Yo, BMO, watch this." We jump out and we hit the fucking gainer, like out of the plane. It was so pimp. And I like couldn't even tell that we were flipping. And then all of a sudden I was like, yo, did we like hit a gainer out the plane? He's like, yeah. Then we like touched down bottom and BMO was like, dude, that gainer was sick.
BMO, if you can do a fact check again, that would be tight. Text us.
Oh yeah. BMO's skydiving right now.
Is he?
Yes. He didn't tear his ACL, so he's ripping it.
He's out. Is he certified?
Yeah, he's cert.
He's shredding big mountain contests. You gonna get in the mix on that?
I would love to. I like was doing some social media stuff for Quicksilver during natural selection. That was kind of like a little intro to like how shit went down there and what the vibe was, and it was hectic, like crazy vibe, super cool energy. Everyone's like supportive and like, but everyone's also trying to fucking win. So that was like really sick to be a part of, and I definitely would like to get in on that if that was like a potential thing, because I love all that stuff. Like I bought a sled last year. I only got like 12 hours on it just because I'm so busy, but I would love to just like get in the backcountry and start just like ripping.
Love it. He wants to do it all. Well, I think it's a good time for hot takes, Buds. What do you think?
Let's get into it.
All right. So on this show, we kind of ask a lot of the same questions, but we'll get right into it. First one we're going to ask is the Michael Jordan and or GOAT of snowboarding, however you want to take it to you. You know how it pertains to you, both male and female. Who you got? Who's your GOAT?
Female, Jess Kimura for sure.
Boom.
She was just like the first chick I saw on like I think DOA, and I was like, or even Nike Never Not. She was fucking crazy, and the Think Tank shit she did too, or like her first part. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
those are heavy.
Yeah, she's kind of probably the GOAT for me. And men's side, honestly, dude, Blake Muller's he's the GOAT.
Bimo.
Watch out. I swear he's going to be the next like Travis Rice. Straight up. So yeah.
I like that. We haven't got
MJ.
BMO.
Yeah.
That's a first. on the
BMO's
show
goated.
right now.
He's officially
yeah.
goated.
Or I feel like, Longo also, but like BMO's fucking goated. Like every time I go out with him, like whether it's like us rock climbing or like snowboarding or whatever, it's like he's doing the most suspect, gnarly shit, and you just got to respect it.
Okay.
respectable.
That brings us to question number 2. Most underrated. Who you got?
Denver or for sure. Denver needs to get fucking paid. Let's go.
That's a good one.
I love you, Denver.
Love that answer. Steel or powder?
If I had to film, I love filming in the streets because it's like you're just like in the like in the city, like getting after it, looking for spots and shit. So I'd probably say that. But if it's just like chill day, vibing, where I Brighton just snowed a bunch, I'm saying pow day.
What if it's an urban pow day?
Well, then that's 2 birds stoned at
Then
once.
yeah, like
That's
that.
actually like a hack to that question.
It's a hack, life hack.
just
Yeah,
hack that one.
that's kind of how I answered it, like both. Fuck
He
it.
kind of Louis vetoed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Best style ever.
Louis for Longo.
Louis or Longo?
Love it.
Great answer. Okay. Best video ever made.
Cheese and crackers.
Wow. Curveball, but I like it.
Curveball.
Okay. Best board graphic ever made.
Travis Kennedy Capita. I think was that his name?
Travis Parker.
Travis Parker. Yeah.
The no
sorry.
grab one with all the grabs.
Yeah, with all the grabs.
yeah, that one's
Gotcha.
I saw Johan ripping that, and I was like, dude, why don't you
Mm-hmm.
remake that shit? That's so fire.
They should re-release that. Okay. Favorite musical artist, band, what have you.
been on my Bad Bunny shit, but favorite band? I grew up on the Smiths. Like my dad has a tattoo of Morrissey.
I didn't know you had
Guy
the
just
E
throws
code.
a-
That's a little E code.
Yeah,
right
throws
there.
a curveball.
Yeah, I'm like on my little emo lover
gets a
boy
little
shit.
emo on
Bad
Yeah.
Bunny to
Dude, this
Smiths,
guy, you
that's-
can't put him in a box. He
No.
cannot be contained.
He's not.
No, I'm all
cannot
over
be
the
put
place.
in a
I was
box.
named after Miles Davis.
Really?
BT Dub. Yeah.
Wow.
BT
Oh, that
Dub.
BT Dub's good too.
Yeah, that's a good
But
one.
take note of that. We got to start
BT
using
Dub.
that.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
write that down.
BT Dub for Stony Buds.
BT
By
Dub.
the way, BT Dub. Okay, if you go heliboarding with 3 people, just for good times, who you taking?
BMO, Goop, and my boy Noah Skelly. That's easy.
I thought maybe Scully might make it in there.
Yeah, Skelly's my fucking dog.
I knew Bima was.
I thought. See, I thought he might go celebrity like Spider-Man, Zendaya. You
Nah,
know, I
fuck
thought-
throw the
that
whole
shit.
No,
throw
he's-
the whole
he keeps-
Spider-Man universe in there.
Yeah.
Nah,
so
the
you-
best days are with your best friends, for
Truth.
sure.
Shit,
I'm sure those guys would be tight to hang with in the alley though.
Yeah,
Zendaya should be pretty sick to.
yeah, yeah.
She probably shreds.
I mean, dude,
Why
if I
not?
could kiss Zendaya, that'd be kind of crazy.
I heard she's got. I actually heard she's got a good back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, from somebody. Okay, worst trend in snowboarding.
Probably like the cancel culture shit. Like what happened to Nico Mueller. Like I guess that was kind of fucked up, but at the end of the day, he's still like Nico. So I don't know.
Good answer.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, Miles. Well, we like to ask our guests about their snowboard setup. So why don't you break down to the people what you're rocking, how you set it up, angles, the whole deal.
Word. I got a couple setups. You know, my jib stick. Probably like -6 on my back foot, posi 15, little like half-inch setback, like in the streets. And then POW, if like I'm on the Navigator, I'm ripping posi 15 on my front foot, posi 3 on the back, setback like half an inch. And yeah, those are my stances. For park and stuff, I ride the Outsiders, 152, 150, or actually I stepped up to 154 this year, big boy dog. And yeah, that's like the perfect like rail jump board. Ride that in the streets. Even if you like are ripping in POW, it's still fun too.
The Outsiders. Do you touch your edges?
I don't. I leave them alone. Even if I'm about to hop on a rail, I don't dull these puppies.
Amazing. And then what's up with the bindings you're rocking?
Yeah, I usually rock the Forces or the new Union Ultras. These are like insane, super light. There's no like unnecessary like piece of shit like hardware you need. Like it's just what you get is what like you need, and it rips. It's super light, and I think that's what I like most about it.
A little fun fact, I rode your board when we were in Loon because I've never ridden an Outsiders, and I just got an Outsiders 158.
Perfect.
So I'm hyped.
So you liked it.
I loved it.
Sick.
It was great. I was like, damn, I want to switch over and try this thing out. So
That's cool.
I don't have I have a 1-run review of it being great, but
Yeah.
aside from that, hopefully it becomes my daily driver. We'll see.
Yeah, sick. It is a daily driver for sure. Like you could use it for whatever. It's sick.
Amazing. Now, we also got to ask, what's next for Miles?
What's next? Nothing much. Fuck. Just gonna get healthy and then hop back on the board. But yeah, I'm trying to, broaden my whatever, get into like more stuff outside of snowboarding, whether it's, trying to do a little acting or doing like some model stuff, which has been cool. Like riding for Quicksilver, they definitely open up a little outlet for me to express myself in other ways, which is really sick. And yeah, if there's any agents, let's go.
What and then what project did you film for this year? You got some stuff coming out in the fall?
Yeah, so it might be called Blood Orange. We're still not sure on the name, but yeah, I worked again with Bryden Boley this year and rode with Denver and Keegan and a few of our homies, and we got to make the trip over the Great Atlantic to Europe. So I'm stoked for everyone to watch. I only got a month to film again because I'm just so busy, but I'm really hyped on the footage we got, and Denver's got some really sick shit, and hopefully he's not the most underrated snowboarder anymore.
Denver Orr.
Yeah.
And Keegan Hosenfrost.
Hosenfrost.
I don't even know, but yeah.
Switchback roadie god.
Straight up.
Okay, that's great. Well, before we wrap this thing up and put a bow on it, we always like to ask, do you want to throw any thank yous out?
Yeah. Big thanks to my parents. I love you guys. You guys are the shit. My sister, keep killing it. all my friends, BMO Goop, Noah, Jersey Mike, Ben Marmer, everyone, Ricky, everybody, Squid. I love you all. Huge shout out to Capita. Love you, Dangler. Love you, Blue. Dan Broadwell, thanks for putting me on. Johan, love you too. You're the fucking man. Riley, I miss you. Let's do a trip to Amsterdam soon or some fuck shit. And yeah, pretty much anyone else who's had an impact on my life. Oh, hold on. Soy Sauce Nation, AK, huge shout out. Love you. Always making me feel included and making me feel like I have purpose and you're the shit. So fuck yeah. Oh, and Preston Strout, you're the fucking man. Thank you, Quicksilver. Thank you, Emily Pugh, my French girl. Love you. Always being your minion. Nadas, I love you. EJ, love you. John Ray, you're the best fucking filmer ever. Bryden, you are too. And everyone else at Quickie, Kyle, all the people that work there to make the product awesome. Toma, thank you for letting the riders give such good input on the outerwear because it's the best shit you could get for the best buck. So there you go.
That was a solid. Shout out. Kind of a shout out, God, you might say, bud.
This guy's good.
I'm a shout out.
The kid's good.
Lord.
All right, Miles. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to all of our listeners, everybody that watches on YouTube, everybody that is a Patreon member, anybody that buys a piece of merch, anybody that subscribes to our stuff and rocks with us, shares our stuff on the Instagram. What am I, fucking 800 years old?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you guys. And we got another show coming at you next Wednesday. Over and out from the bomb hole.